Mr. McDowell, I don't know, there are cameras up there. Can we switch to that for, oh, I don't know about that. Look at that.
Okay. Alan McDowell, Memory Programs. Not too long ago, a month or so ago, I walked up into the library and an individual was watching pornography and doing something he shouldn't. And then I told the librarian about the problem. And a few days later, I find in the new open space with the $40,000 stock market machine you pay every year, might be a foundation money, not the city, you got pornography all over the wall. And so tonight I have a dialectical receipt filer, and the incident type is harassment. And my purpose is to remove any and all sexual or explicit images and artwork from all City of Spokane properties, including Spokane Public Library. And my question is, can City Council and the Mayor please set new rules against 18+ artwork being displayed in public places and make all offices and rooms in the city all ages friendly? Location, open workspace on the 3rd floor of the public library. Pictures include, were included in my email to the HR department. The response is the librarian stated that the artwork was a First Amendment right, and I clicked misinterpretation. I think the librarian is misinterpreting the First Amendment. Government bodies must follow protocols and procedures to protect citizens. Government workers can't use the First Amendment against the safety of children and the public. And she stated that that's an 18+ room, but it wasn't meant for children. But you've got all this technology up there. I don't think you intended to build it for just business people, but it's hard to concentrate on business when you have all these naked parts and all this artwork staring right at you, you know. And so I think it's a harassment issue. Now you have another issue Mike Fagan talked about, is that the sign issue is going to come up, and it's a First Amendment right to put anything on a sign. Well, say I was Lori Kinnear's boss and I put all that naked artwork all over her office and I said, well, that's how we're going to do business. You may say that's sexual harassment if I was your boss. So why do it in the city and outside on the streets, such up in Hilliard on Sampson Road where you have the naked barista signs. I think you're sexually harassing the children with all this sexual content and the verbiage on the signs. So we need to think about sexual harassment against constitutional rights. Thanks.
So, Mr. McDowell, though, the proper venue for this specific complaint is the library board.
Yeah, okay.
And they govern the policies of the library. We have the library's legal advisor right here. And so when is we have a representative from the city council.
Wednesday, the next meeting?
Next meeting. There's an open comment period there at the library board.
When's that?
Hold on, I'm checking for you.
She's getting it for you.
Karen.
Next Wednesday, I think.
Okay.
4:30, are your meetings usually?
We start at 4:30. Sorry.
In the main library.
In the main, well, sometimes we jump around. Hold on. I'm getting there. We move around, but usually we're on the main floor of the main library.
Okay. But I will have Councilmember Stratton call you tomorrow with the exact location and time of the library board meeting. And this is a perfect issue to bring up to them.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's next Tuesday the 17th, and we are going to be in the downtown library.
And there's an open comment period there for him.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mr.
4
McDowell.
o'clock.
Okay.
All right, legislative agenda, special budget ordinances.
And the first name I have is Chud Wendle. Chud, good to see you. As you come down, we start the timer here. Everyone has 3 minutes, and you'll get an orange light when you have a minute left.
Okay, thank you. Well, good evening, Pro Tem Council President Waldorf and fellow council members. Thanks for the opportunity to speak. After tonight's meeting, as you go out to your car, imagine finding these words on the note left on the windshield of your car. I have been watching you today. If we have sex, I will leave you alone, baby. This is a note that was included on the windshield of a young employee out of one of our tenants out of Hutton Settlement. I represent Hutton Settlement as well as Northtown Square. Hutton Settlement's on the southwest corner of Division and Wellesley. Hutton has owned that over 30 years. Northtown Square, our family has ownership in and has been, we've been involved there for over 50 years. Over the past 6 months, we've seen a drastic increase in transient and homeless populations in this neighborhood, resulting in public safety concerns, lost business, increased shoplifting, litter, and vandalism. In addition to these notes that were left on the employee's car, we've also heard from other tenants. Tenants in both retail centers have approached ownership regarding drastic increases in shoplifting. Matter of fact, one of the national tenants, which I know is the one and only in Spokane, has the #1 shoplifting rate in the country. A family-themed frozen yogurt business has reported the following incidents. A transient filled up their cup of yogurt with toppings, and when asked to pay, the transient threatened to shoot the young female employee in the head. The employer called Crime Check, and unfortunately, they did not have a response. Another one, transient tried to pay for frozen yogurt with a lottery ticket, became extremely angered when he was denied. To de-escalate the situation, another customer agreed to pay for the transient's yogurt. The transient then threw it at the front door. A transient covered in feces entered and decided to touch everything he could on the way to the bathroom in front of families and young children. This past Friday, we just had a notice that another transient was seen walking around without pants around while families are inside. So it goes on and on. One of the tenants has just recently reported drug syringes were taped to the front door of their store, hoping that the employee first to enter the store the next morning would puncture their hands. So this goes on and on. And this is what we've been facing over the past couple years. The last 6 months, it's increased drastically. For Hutton Settlement, I do the property management here. Our expenses have quadrupled over the past 6 months, over this past summer, actually. And it comes in the form of cleaning up graffiti, increased security, picking up litter, breaking down homeless camps, cleaning up the messes, and more security. So this adds up. For the city of Spokane, this is lost sales tax revenue when tenants leave, and more importantly for Hutton Settlement, who we house children, and some of these are coming from homeless situations or preventing from homeless situations. The revenue from the rent funds our operations. We don't take a penny from the government. And so when a tenant leaves, so does a child.
Thank you, Mr. Wendle. I'm sorry, we're at the 3 minutes, but I know I received a letter from you, I think other council members, and I know you've spoken with Councilmember Mumm. Our forum last Monday did touch on some of these issues, and as Councilmember Kinnear was mentioning, we discussed some strategies at our committee meeting today, and we will be following up with you as we develop more of those projects to try and get folks on their feet and not on hanging out on your property. Can I ask you one question though? Have you had the neighborhood resource officers look at is there a particular area where folks are gathering could there be some environmental changes that would discourage certain activities?
We're having an officer, I think it's McClintock, anyways, come out and do an environmental assessment tomorrow. So we're doing that tomorrow.
Good. I might not have all the answers for you, but there may be some things that could be done to discourage some activities. I appreciate that. And I appreciate Councilmember Mumm and her pointing us in a couple directions. And so I think it's going to take all of us working together on it, but it's got to stop. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.